Hey fellas, Caesar here. Um, I guess I'm showing you the Revell 68 Firebird, the Foose edition. And based on my last video, I was, wanted to see some people's opinions and what people thought. And I got a few. Thank you for commenting. Um, but since I already had started this, I figured I'd finish it. So I started this back when I started the 49 Merc, which maybe about 3 months ago or something like that. I can't remember. I know I made a video when I first started the Merc, but I had started it a little bit before that. So I started this at the same time, and I just ended up putting it away. I'm gonna stick to one kit at a time. Um, so I decided on this. I really have a soft spot for this shape of vehicle. Um, I mean, when I see a Camaro, when I see a Firebird from the late '60s, it's just like, wow. It gets my attention. It's one of those cars. I guess the reason is because when I was little, um, I think I mentioned this in the video, one of my first videos. I had an uncle who had, and I can't remember exactly if it was a Camaro or a Firebird, but it was this shape of car, and I got to give my uncle a call to find out what it was. See if he could describe it or he has any pictures of it. But he used to roll in one of these back we're talking in the early 80s, maybe mid 80s, around there somewhere. I think I was maybe 5 or 6. And he rolled in one of these. He just barely got married to my aunt. And they just had a baby. Anyways, it brings back memories from when I was a little kid. And my uncle, which is my godfather, always wanted me to roll with him. So I remember me riding in this car, and his was pretty beat up. It wasn't beat up, but it wasn't fully restored or anything, and it had mismatched parts here and there. I think this panel back here was a different color. I remember that specifically. I just don't remember exactly. I'm talking about the 80s. So when I see these cars, I have a handful of these Camaros and a couple of Firebirds. And every time there's a couple more Camaros that I see out there that some kids that I want. But anyways, yes, this is the kit. This is the Firebird. This is a body shape that I love, and I have to say that I love the front end of the Firebird over the Camaro. But when it comes to the rear and the everything, it's both cars are attractive. There's those there's differences, but I just love the shape of the car, and it does I reminisce on when I was a kid, seeing my uncle drive his car in the dirt. So I decided to with this kit, since I already had started it, and the original the paint job on here, it's not finished. It's the White Lightning, Tesla's White Lightning paint that I started spraying on it. I think there's very 2 light coats on it, and I was originally going to do a red interior. I think I showed this on my last video. It was a red interior with the white. I was watching somebody's video and I seen they did a Chevelle, I think it was, and it was a white. It was white. It was like a pearl white with the red interior. It looked beautiful. I'm like, wow, that's beautiful. I'm not really into white, but right now it looks gray. It looks silver. Somebody mentioned that I should have put a white primer underneath there. There's a gray primer underneath there. Maybe that's the reason why, or I'm sure it is. So anyways, I'm learning as I go, about these the finishes and stuff like that. But after doing some research and being online and Pinterest, looking at all the 68 Firebirds out there and everything, I've seen so many cool colors, and this is the only 68 Firebird I have, which I won't be making again. Probably, I don't know if I'll pick another one up. If I see one, I will. But I got so many kits to build, so I wanted to make it into a something nice. And my wife came downstairs last night while I was just staring at this thing, and she said, "Oh, that looks cool." She mentioned about putting some racing stripes, over the hood, over the roof and the trunk. And I thought, well, that's a good idea. But she said you should make them black, and I'm like, well, I don't think the black is going to match with the red interior. Blah blah blah. So started debating back and forth. But after being on Pinterest, I started looking at stuff, and I really did enjoy my wife's comments on it. She said it looks really good, which is it's not finished, but she's very supportive. Anyways, I thought that I'd kind of make this one for her. And her favorite vehicle color, it's like a maroon color. I don't have a sample of it, but her vehicle, which is a Tahoe she drives, specifically, she bought it because of that color, because she just loves that maroon color. And I think I might do that instead of this white lining, white. I think I'm just gonna paint it that color for her, and do those black stripes on top. Gonna change the interior color. Probably go with a charcoal gray or something like that. It's not, I'm still kind of debating on it. Gonna look at the color wheel and see what matches. I'm an industrial designer, so we deal with color and all that stuff. So I'm gonna look at the color wheel and see what good colors match for a good contrast. Anyways, after when I started putting this together, I mocked it, and going through the instructions, it shows that it has some risers on the rear. You could add risers on it, which I kind of like the way the rear looks. I really like the way the rear looks. It's not too high, and it's not too low. There's some the images that I've seen that were so cool, they were kind of a little lower than this, but the rear to me looks perfect. The front, though, to me it looks like it's raised. I don't know if it's the pins that are sticking out too far. Cutting down the pins down here for this that hook onto the chassis. I cut them down because I think one of them was sticking out too far, and it was making this stick out, so it was raising it. But after setting it in there and checking it out, I'm not too happy with that stance. I think I want to leave the rear the same, and I want to drop it about maybe 2 inches, scale inches, maybe 2, maybe 3 scale inches. I want to drop it. I'm hoping that the tires fit around the inside of the fender. So I'm gonna have to do a little bit of surgery here and reconstruct the spindle part of it and raise it up so the car will lower down. But anyways, that's my thought right now, and I wasn't gonna do the interior all custom like the Foose edition. I was going to do the racing style, and right now you see a seat in there, and that's not the seat that comes with this kit. The seats that come with this kit, these are the stock seats. There's one, and there's the other ones around there somewhere. I thought I'd just do the race version of it. Kind of give it that classy look, that classy look with the race interior. Not too racy inside either. I'm debating on whether putting the second seat in there or not. But that seat that you see inside, it's a NASCAR. It's a NASCAR seat. See if you can, I don't know if you can see it. It's got tape on there. The race seat that comes with this kit is kind of a dud, I guess you could say. A little bucket seat. There's not much to it. And I thought, because I decided about the race seat last night, and I thought, well, I don't know if I can modify this one to make it look better or whatever, or I don't know. So I pulled out one of my NASCAR kits and pulled out a seat. Now, I don't want to use the seat. I want to build that NASCAR at some point, so I want to save it. So I started looking online to see if I can find a race seat. Some cool ones, and I did find one. I saw some guy on Instagram that sells them, and for about $5 plus shipping or something like that. And well, I thought, well, I could easily buy it, use it, or I can take this seat and cast it. Do a resin cast of this seat and modify it, because the seat is a little too tall on this one, and which, yeah, it was almost touching the roof, actually, the top of that seat. And maybe I can shave down the bottom a little bit as well, and it'll lower it. But I thought I'd just I never did any resin casting before, and I have a resin cast kit that I've been dying to use, so this is a good opportunity. Now I'm just going to have to cast this seat, and then after casting it, modify it a little bit, shape it a little bit to where I want it, because it's got some certain things. I mean, if you guys ever seen the 90s NASCAR seats from Revell Monogram, they're totally different from nowadays NASCAR seats. So they're really generic looking, but there's no other kit that I have in my possession right now that has a cool race car seat. And I've been through some of these kits, just looking at some of the older ones, some of the older MPC kits, or actually AMT kits, like the short track kits. None of them, the seats are just kind of very generic and ugly looking, in my opinion. So I think I'm just going to take this and cast it. So anyways, this video is going way too long. Thanks for watching. Maybe next time. I'm still need to decide what paint I'm going to use. I know what color I'm going to use, unless I change my mind, unless my wife tells me no. I'll run it by her and see what she says. I value her opinion. She knows I'm a creative, and she opinionates on everything. And anyways, that's about it for this. We'll see. I'm going to modify the front, and I'm thinking about what color I'm going to use, or what company I'm going to use. Testers. I think I noticed some, I forgot the name, the stuff they sell at Hobby Lobby. I don't have any of those paints. Create ones. I seen some colors on there that I don't know if they have a red that I like, but we'll see. Well, thanks for watching. Sorry for the long video, and next time I'll have an update and see what I'm doing. Thank you.